Hello viewers and welcome to my game room. My name is Luigi. Tonight we're gonna be playing some Assetto Corsa EVO, Mount Panorama, quick race, 9 cars as opponents, and it's a nighttime race which looks great. But I'm gonna have to come right out and tell you, my computer is not the best, but it can do the job. It's just that to achieve a decent frame rate, I have to really lower the settings so the shadows don't look too good, especially at night. And at this point, I can't quite add any rain to it, otherwise the frame rate drops dramatically. But the game is incredibly fun, as you can see. At night, it looks fantastic, especially if you are inside the car. This is really one of my favorite tracks in the game available right now, and even just doing some laps, this car is fantastic, this Ferrari. But I gotta tell you, I can't quite drive and speak at the same time. I can barely do each of them separately, let alone both together. So we're gonna have to be doing voiceovers for this thing, and I think the game looks fantastic. It's incredibly fun to play. Kunos so far has done a really great job. You can argue that $30 is too much for what's available. I don't really do early access very often. In fact, this is probably my first time I've ever paid for an early access. I think the game looks great so far. I'm really enjoying it, and sure, it's $30 and that might be a little bit steep, but to be honest, that's all I want to play right now. I haven't touched Gran Turismo or Assetto Corsa or Competizione, any of those other games. All I want to do is just run some laps in this EVO version. It's really fun to drive, I feel. This race though is quite tricky. The AI with these cars, they are really fast, and if you want to stay ahead of them, you really have to put some work on it. They stay on your tail the entire time, or on my tail the entire time. They put some real pressure. It's probably because I'm not as fast as I could have been, especially at night, and especially driving from inside the car. I really like the bonnet camera, but I think it's much more cinematic when you're driving inside the car. I have also noticed that during nighttime races, it seems like there's some sort of change to the tire model, and the temperatures are quite different. I'm not sure about the pressures, but the temperatures are quite different. And sometimes I cannot even take the same turns that I would during the day in certain gears. I have to take them in lower gears. Certain turns that are third gear during the day are gonna be a second gear during the night. I'm not sure why is that happening, but it's quite noticeable. Although I just recently noticed because I reached the better place with my graphics settings that allow me to raise the frames per second a little bit. When that happened, I actually was able to finally do some night races, because before, just trying to put it at a different time other than noon, high noon, it would have completely destroyed my frame rate. So I was skipping the races to the daytime. But now I reached a better point with the graphic settings and I can do night races. I still cannot do rain. That destroys my frame rate. But night races I can do, even though there's a hit to the frame rate, pretty severe in fact, but it's acceptable. It affects the replays more than the actual race, it seems, especially shadows and other light effects on the track. I haven't tried VR yet. I don't think my computer is gonna be able to handle that very well, but I want to try it at some point. I can do that relatively well in Assetto Corsa and Competizione, though those titles are way more optimized than EVO is at this point in time, so I don't expect a lot from VR, especially considering I'm gonna be using the PS VR 2 to do that, but I haven't tried that yet. I'm having just so much fun with the flat screen. So back to the topic of, is it worth it? In my opinion, yes. I mean, if you are a sim racer, if you have a rig with a wheel of any sort, I believe that this game is going to be great once it reaches its final state. Right now it's a little rough around the edges, but that's expected for an early access, I suppose. I rather play it at this stage as it is right now than not play it at all until the end of the year. And then we also have to consider the fact that towards the end of the year we're also going to have GTA 6 coming out, and that's going to shake up the game industry completely. Like, there's not going to be a lot of space for much of anything else. I've already had family members and friends tell me that once GTA 6 comes out, there's nothing else they will play. Like, forget Call of Duty, forget Gran Turismo or anything else. All they're going to be playing is GTA 6. And I kind of understand that. I don't quite see myself doing that, but it's going to take quite a bit of my time towards the end of the year. I'm probably going to be creating a lot of content for it as well. So, yeah, I can see how you want to have your game out and have that in people's minds already before GTA 6 takes over the world later on this year. Anyways, I think EVO is in a rough state, but it's a pretty good game and it's gonna get only better, hopefully. And that's it. I'm already working on a couple more videos, so stay tuned for that on this channel. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of content. I plan doing a lot more of these in the future, especially when the game comes close to full release, and even more so when it's the full release, of course. Love this game and I love sim racing in general. If you like that too, I think you're gonna enjoy the kind of content we're gonna have in this channel in the near future. And thank you for watching.